2 weeks, 3 days out. Is that right? 4? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
3
2
and a
weeks
half.
and 3 days. Yeah, 3.5 days, right? Chesting back today. But what I wanted to talk about was one of the questions I've been getting asked so much about, and I talked about it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, is strength loss. I'm like, how much strength have I lost, if any? And as somebody who's doing this and doing it naturally, that's a key component here. You are going to lose strength, right? There's no way you're going to hold on to the strength that you had during the bulk. When your calories were here, maybe your calories are here. You're just not going to have the same kind of strength. So for me, like when I was bulking, what was I doing? Like 100% of 8 and all on flat bench, yeah? And like that was like working weight. Now, if I get 5 on 100, I'm like, damn, I'm feeling strong today, which is not very good. But even just across the board, like pull-ups, everything, strength has gone way down. We're gonna do a little workout edit today. You're gonna see the weights I'm working with. I'm gonna leave all the set ranges, rep ranges, everything up on the screen as well. Let's go.
I give them love and they run away. Fly to Paris, don't wanna stay. All she wanted was caviar. All I got was the time of day. Wanna take you out, wanna show you off, wanna buy you things, wanna get you off, oh girl. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wanna put your name in outer space when we on the plane to another place, oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And now I got a taste of my own medicine. All this shit that I do to women, it may be crazy, we all suckers for something. We all suckers for something. Yeah. And now I got a taste of my own medicine. All this shit that I do to women, it may be crazy, we all suckers for something. We all suckers for something. And if you feel the way I feel, you might fuck up and send a text. But put your phone down, baby, get that shit a rest. Oh God, you don't need that. We all suckers for something. Best believe that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I wanna tell you every night and day, the feelings come, the feelings stay. But you came around, I wrote you off. And I'm slipping up and I'm playing games. Small, oh God, that shit ain't cute. She wanna stay up late, party in the hills, rub it in my face, make me feel my feels alright. I guess I got it bad.
Right, so finish the workout. That's the easy part. Now it's the slightly harder part. 30 minutes of cardio, low intensity, 8 gradient, 7.2 speed, 30 minutes. That's the second hardest part. And the hard part is going home and eating properly. So, see you all in 30 minutes. Yeah, see you in a bit. Bye. Let's talk about tips for a successful cut. So, my number 1 tip, my first tip, the most important thing that you need to be doing on a cut. This is something you need to be doing. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter who you listen to, qualified, unqualified, I'm unqualified, I'm not a qualified personal trainer, but this is just something you have to do on a cut. Drink lots of water. Drink lots of water. You have to keep your liquids high. If your food is low, your energy is low, everything is low, you have to keep your water high. Otherwise, if your water is low and your food is low, you're gonna feel like absolute shit. Like shit. There's no getting around that. You're just gonna feel awful. However, if you keep your water high while your food is low, you will feel, honestly, you're not gonna feel amazing, but you're gonna feel better than if both are low. And also a little tip, this is not tip number 2, this is like tip 1 subset A. If you feel hungry, right? If you think you feel hungry, go and drink lots of water, or like lots of Ribena, or like some kind of a flavor drink with water in it. And you might not feel as hungry, because a lot of the time you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty. So when you take a drink and you fill your stomach with water, suddenly you might not feel as hungry anymore, and that's great, because you know, you might not want to eat at that time or whatever, you might want to put off eating. So doing that will just kind of fill you up a little bit. So that's tip number 1, drink a lot of water, people. Tip number 2, experiment with periods of fasting. Right, so this has worked for me quite nicely. As you guys know, when I was getting up at 6 every morning, I'm not doing that anymore, by the way. I stopped doing that because I was like a zombie. Anyway, when I was getting up at 6, I was getting up at 6 and I wasn't eating until about 8 or half 8, just to kind of give myself those little 2.5 hour windows of fasting. Also during the day now, when I come home from the gym, I've been trying to put off eating for as long as I can, just to kind of leave calories for later in the day, because I don't like going to bed hungry. So if you can, now I'm not saying you have to do it, but just give it a try. Try and fast, see how it goes for you. It's not a guaranteed fat loss method. You know, if you go and you eat a huge meal at the end of the day because you fasted all day, you still need to just be in a calorie deficit, but give it a try. It's something that I kind of like doing now, just kind of mess with the calories, especially this deep into the cut. You know, I've been cutting for 7 weeks now, so just kind of try and find little tricks to lose that last little bit of weight and make that final push. That's something I've been doing. So yeah, don't know why I'm filming this in my bathroom, but we're gonna roll with it. Tip number 3 is not to weigh yourself every single day. A lot of people will not agree with me with this, but unless you're an absolute top level bodybuilder going for your first competition or something, and you really need to weigh yourself every day to see weight fluctuation and stuff, and you have a final stage goal weight, as somebody who's just cutting just to cut, to lose some weight, don't weigh yourself every day. Again, it's personal preference. Even on this cut, I have not weighed myself once, not even once. I do not know. Everybody asks me all the time, what weight am I? I haven't a clue. And it's just because I don't want to have that messing with my mind. Say the weight fluctuation you see, stuff like that, you're like, oh, I'm not losing weight quickly enough, I'm losing too much weight. It just messes with your head. So I do not recommend people weighing themselves every day. Just go by how you look in the mirror and how you feel, because chances are, if you look better in the mirror than you did 2 weeks ago, you're losing weight, you're on track, you're doing okay. As I said, you don't need to weigh yourself unless you're like at the very top of the game and you need to hit like a specific weight. So that's tip number 3. Why am I on my shed? Anyway, 4th tip number 4 is take progress pictures of yourself. So if you start a cut, take a picture at the start, obviously, at the end of your bulk, take a picture, see how you look. Then say in a week, take another picture, see how you look, take another picture, see how you look. Keep taking these pictures, because honestly, that is something that I regretted not doing more of last year, which is funny. I know I take pictures all the time myself, blah blah blah, but I didn't take enough like actual progress pictures to see, standing in the same light with the same pose, just seeing how you look. Just makes a big difference to how you feel, how you feel the cut is going, the progress you're making, all that kind of stuff. Just kind of solidifies in your mind that you are actually making progress. So that's tip number 4. I need to get off this shed. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Anyway, bye. Okay, so tip number 5, final tip, is to fill your food with vegetables. Not like fill your food with vegetables, but like make your meals more, how do I even say that? Voluminous? Add more volume to your food with vegetables. As you guys know, I've been eating a lot of peppers, mushrooms, onions. Just kind of add them into everything, because the chicken, the rice, the turkey burgers, they don't really fill you up. Like if you just have like chicken and rice or whatever on its own, you're gonna feel hungry again in about 10 minutes, if not like straight away after eating it. But if you add in some volume with like peppers, other vegetables, broccoli, stuff like that, you're not gonna feel hungry as quick. And that is one of the biggest tips I can give to anybody who wants to start a cut. They're my top 5 tips. Some of you will agree with them, some of you will not. But yeah, that's my top 5 tips. So see you in a bit. Bye. So I actually didn't realize how long that video had gotten there, but I've just finished editing it. And I'm gonna actually wrap it up here now because it's pretty much done. I hope you enjoyed those tips. Give them a try. If they work for you, great, brilliant, you know, apply them to yourselves. If they don't work, I'm sorry, but there are lots of other tips out there as well that hopefully will improve your cut. They're just things that have worked for me. I hope they work for you though, you know, they should in theory. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, people, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.